Good afternoon and welcome to TIO Stadium, round 7 of the TIO NTFL Men's Premier League, with Southern Districts up against the Tiwi Bombers. In the commentary box this afternoon, Stu Davis and Wally Gallio. Stu, we might start with you. A lot of changes for the Tiwi Bombers compared to their side up against Tars last week.
Yeah, pretty hard to get a form line on them, isn't it? 12 changes this week, so pretty much completely different. Makes it easy as a commentator as well to pick up the names, but I'm sure we'll get there. And Districts have had a few changes themselves. They've got about 4, I think. Wally, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. They've got Rory O'Brien, Ed Barlow, Baden Nagalkin and Dylan Barry, which are some formidable outs for them. But looking at Tiwi, they brought in some good players. They brought Jason Purantata Mary in, who's going to steady him down back. Braden Rioli, who's a live wire forward, and Ross Tungatalm. And Ross, when he's up and about, he's really good to watch. And then Jack Monongetti and Howell, Lachlan Howell, will take care of the ruck work. And a couple of other Southerners in, Daniel McLindland, Rory Lehman and Nicholas Rydell. And
Tom Bell as well, with a fair bit of AFL experience. So
yeah, well, he's ex-Redlands player that got drafted to the AFL, and now he's back in playing for Tiwi Bombers.
Do want to touch on the heat today, gentlemen. I think we're going for a forecasted top of 36 degrees. You put the humidity on top of that. Is fatigue going to play a factor this afternoon?
Yeah, I think we saw it last week at Gardens Oval when Tiwi and Waratahs were fierce at it for 3 quarters, and the last quarter was sort of kicking a catch, and just it really took it out of the players. 30-odd, 35 or 38 goals, whatever it was, Stu, it really took it out of them at the end of the day, didn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And, I think short time ago it was 34 degrees and about 50% humidity, but there's a bit of breeze out there, so that'll help them a bit. But a number of players probably playing for the first time in Darwin and in this weather, so they'll be tested. But it's surprising how well players do cope with the heat up here, and we still get quality football played.
And when we talk about that fourth quarter fade that we saw last week, none more so than Southern Districts. They did just hold on against St Mary's. They were 38 points up, Districts, at three-quarter time. St Mary's got that back to just 4 points with just a few minutes to go. Of course, the Crocs did manage to hang on to the win. So we are seeing that last week, in the game, of course, that we watched last week, the Bombers and Tars as well. The fourth quarter and that heat really does suck it out of them towards the end there.
Yeah, it wasn't until... which is going to be a huge loss for Districts today. Ed Barlow, I thought, was probably the best game I've ever seen him play in the NTFL. He was really good. He was clean, and he 4 points down. Well, at the 8-minute mark, they were 37 points down, St Mary's, and they came back to 4 points, and then Ed Barlow finished off with that goal. And he was, if anybody controlled a game, I thought that was one that people need to watch Ed Barlow control the airwaves there.
Yeah, he's a quality player, and you're right, he will be missed today. So be interesting. Districts are on a bit of a roll as far as wins go. They started the season with a bit of a stagger. I think they lost the first game and drew the second, but pretty good since then. But Tiwi really need a win to keep their season on track. I think they'd be disappointed with where they're at the moment after finishing third last year.
Yeah, it was quite good, that Tiwi could bring 12 players in of quality, and Districts have got the same that are missing from their squad at the moment. Brandon Rusk is still out, who I thought in his first few weeks showed a lot for a young player.
Here we go, the ball is up in the air. Play about to get underway. Round 7 of the TIO NTFL Men's Premier League, Southern Districts and Tiwi Bombers. Stu Davis. Josiah
Farah with the first clearance for Districts goes into the forward 50, where Bo Schwartz drops the mark off the chest. Players over the top, and we'll have a ball up early in the game. So the breeze that's there, it's a reasonable breeze, but it's favouring the airport end, which Districts are kicking to in this first quarter. Ball comes away through Bell for Tiwi, but intercepted out wide, and Districts will come back in through Dingo, who finds Josiah Farah out on the deep out on the half-forward flank for Districts. He centres the ball towards centre half-forward. I'm not sure that's exactly where he intended it to go, but players around the ball now, and Farah again gets the kick in towards centre half forward, but Tiwi were there first, but picked up by Rokar at centre half forward, shot at goal, but offline to the left-hand side. And the first score of the game is a minor for Southern Districts.
Yeah, Josiah Farah started well. He started in the centre bounce. He got the first clearance. He's had 3 possessions so far, and Tiwi seem really balanced this week. They've got John A. Mullins playing in the midfield as well, which will be a real good point because he runs all day and uses the ball really well.
Jason Puruntatameri brings the ball in for Tiwi. Comes over the top. It's taken by the big fella there who's a bit slow and had a bit of pressure around him, got caught holding the ball, and a good tackle by Sam Barnett, forward Districts. He centres the ball now, but a hand in there from Districts. Bo Schwartz on the left foot with a snap at goal, but he too's missed to the left-hand side, and another minor score.
Barnett's been good first few weeks for Districts. He's that utility player that Shannon can use and throw him around a bit. And Jason Puruntatameri back for Tiwi. He's got the ball at the moment, and he's got a couple of possessions early in this game. A
really important player for Tiwi. Bell again out there. He's tackled and didn't dispose of the ball properly. So a couple of the new players in for Tiwi just struggling to acclimatise to the pace, I think, at the moment. I think they've got more time than they actually have had. Rokar this time. Sees a loose player in the forward pocket, and that's Lionel Ogden sneaking down from half-back, I think, to take the mark in the forward pocket, and he loves a shot at goal.
Yeah, so they're just feeling their way a little bit at the moment, Tiwi. As you said, Stu, a couple of players sort of haven't played here. They're playing their first game and sort of aren't aware of their conditions or what's happening around them at the moment, and they've had, Tom Lamb's had that out of bounds on the full and then got caught for holding the ball just then, and Districts have got 4 inside 50 so far,
but failing to capitalise at the moment, though.
Another minor score there on the left-hand side from Ogden. And Dion Mankara this time brings it in. Braden Rioli down on the wing here, takes possession, hand passes out wide again, and Harley Puruntatameri there. He's had the headgear off for the last couple of games, I think, but back on this week, and a bit easier to recognise that way. Umpire Simpson to throw the ball in. And ball comes to the front. Quick kick by Owen Henry towards Roy Farmer, who couldn't take the mark. Michael Bowden tidying up. Brody Lake out there gets his hands on the ball, but he's tackled straight away. Umpire said he had an opportunity, and that's holding the ball. It's pretty red hot, but there you go. Perhaps he did try to break the tackle. So Harley Puruntatameri will take the free kick.
Interesting to see Roy Farmer's playing forward this week, where I thought he played really well in the back half last week. So Tiwi able to throw their players around with the inclusions they've had.
So Districts bring it away from half-back. Charlie McAdam caught underneath that one and was besieged upon, but tackled high. So McAdam.
Nicholas Riddle came in with some pace there for the Bombers.
Chips in short to Damien Williams. Williams short again, and he finds Rankin on the half-forward flank. Rankin chips in to where Rokar picks up on the bounce, drives it deep into the forward pocket, and Willie Farrer takes the mark right on the boundary line in the right forward pocket. He'd be kicking from about 30 or 35 metres, but if you can get it right, the wind might help it drift back towards the goal.
He's been known to kick a few goals from this side pocket, Stu.
Yeah, no, he's not taking the shot. Oh, he's passed it to Schwartz, who fumbled the mark but picked up and snapped and then hit the goalpost. So no goals, but District's doing plenty of attacking.
Tiwi's looking to get out here quick now.
So Ross Tungatalam, his first touch for the game at half-back. Slows the game down and kicks out wide to the wing. It's marked out there by Cantilla. Let's kick inside, and Dion Mankara, some clever work, picks the ball up and hits up Alistair Darcy, I think it is,
forward.
deep in the forward line. So Darcy will have the first shot on goal for Tiwi from about 30 metres on about a 45-degree angle on the outer side. Let's kick on the way. Goal umpire doesn't move too much, and there's the first goal of the game, and it's going pretty much against the flow, I think. But Tiwi, first time inside 50, get the goal on the board and take the lead.
It's just a classic example of using your scoring opportunities when you got them. I think, Wally, that would have been their first inside 50 for the game for the Bombers there. Yeah. And automatically now with that first goal, 1 shot on goal, they're now just 2 up on Southern Districts, who have had 4 shots on goal and a lot more inside 50s. Yeah,
that's correct. Districts have had 6 inside 50s to the 1, and it's a good efficiency rate, 1 for 1. So
can't get much better than that.
Yeah, and, just that Will Farrer to... just a skill error for Bo Schwartz, really set that up for a kick out coast to coast.
So Monaghetti and ruck for Tiwi, but it's Districts who bring it away through Matthew Duffy. Ball spoilt there. On the ground, Schwartz laid the tackle, but umpire Patrick Rawthorne said that was high, and Tiwi to relieve from defence. One of their new players back there in Nick Riddle. He kicks out wide and finds Babui on the half-back flank. Babui drives it down the wing looking for Monaghetti. Gets his hands to the ball, but it spills to the ground. Owen Henry's first there. Runs through and kicks long towards half forward. A big fly from behind. And beautifully done by John O'Mullins there. Played on straight away. And ball lands in the hands
I think he snuck that through.
Blake Puruntatameri. And it's another goal to Tiwi. Dribbled it through just inside the goal post, and a good finish and some good build-up work as well by Tiwi. Yeah,
they're starting to run the ball and they're starting to play a little bit one-on-one, so when the contest is there, they're actually halving the contest and then getting numbers there. And in that instance, they had Babui that ran the ball in the back half and then used it quickly inside, and then John O'Mullins marked really well from behind and pushed his opponent on the footy and then moved it quickly. And I think that's the way Tiwi have got to play, and that's the way we know how they play a lot better.
Just watching that replay there, Puruntatameri just snuck that through there. Another centimetre on that, it might have clipped the post.
So Districts have got Desmond Corbett doing the ruck work, formerly known as Des Ugle, but not normally a ruckman, I would have thought. But Tiwi again into the forward line. Looks like Bell down there this time on the left foot. And another goal to Tiwi.
3 from 3.
3 entries, 3 goals, and their first centre clearance for the game. And they're starting to get the run, and Districts are getting caught in between the play.
So Bell started in the middle. He's obviously resting forward or rotating forward and playing out of the goal square now. And you can see on the replay he got his hands to the ball as it came in, was first to recover and on the left foot under a bit of pressure. No problem at all, and straight through the middle. So 3 goals in about as many minutes, and all of a sudden Districts have got some work to do to stay in the contest. Monaghetti this time taps the ball forward. Adam Tipungwuti running onto it there. Picks up and ducks back inside. Slipped over, but was good enough to get a handball to a teammate. And then butters up again, played for the free kick, which wasn't awarded, and Districts have the chance to bring it out, but the hand pass went astray, and under a fair bit of pressure there, they've won the free kick. So Districts a chance to steady on the outer half-back flank.
This is perhaps what they need right now, Wally, just given that Tiwi seems to be using the loose ball better. So Districts just slow it down, hold position. Yeah,
they need to slow it down and just, execute their skills really well, Matt, and just to ensure they move it and get it down to their forwards one-on-one. Willie Farrer's really good one-on-one. And so is Roker when he's forward, and also, Dylan McLaughlin's down there and Isaac White. So if they get it in there quickly, but they need to slow it down just to get the game back on par as well.
So we've got a boundary throw in outer left forward flank. Good tap out there, and Bell's down there for Tiwi. Drives the ball long to the outer wing, where Adam Tipungwuti's first to the ball. Bit of neat footwork, sees him get clear and kick on the left foot out here to Dion Munkara, who's playing all sorts of party tricks, but doesn't impress umpire Rawsthorne, who says that that's holding the ball, and
What a party pooper.
Districts bring it away.
Did pretty well, didn't he? Ducked, jumped, flipped.
Well, there's a strong mark in defence there by Rory Lehman for Tiwi, and plays on quickly to Jason Puruntatameri, who brings it out wide here to Babui. Babui on the left, chips it further along to the wing, and Alistair Darcy here down in front of the commentary position. Chuck chips it back inside to Mullins, and Mullins drives long towards half forward where Cantilla almost takes a good mark, and the ball bounces back to him. He gets a long hand pass across towards half forward where Dion Munkara on that left foot drives towards goal, but just offline to the left, and the first minor score for Tiwi.
Yeah, just too much space for the Tiwi players at the moment. A lot of district players walking around with their hands on their hips, so maybe the weather's affecting them more than it is at Tiwi in the early stages of the game.
So Districts have the ball on the outer half-back flank. Matthew Duffy chips in short to Dingo, who marks just in front of Alistair Darcy. Dingo short again, and Matthew Duffy running through, receives a hand pass, gives off again, and now Districts mount another attack. It's Stephen Stewart this time, who drives long towards the left forward pocket, but Tiwi had the numbers there, and the ball was forced out of bounds.
They seem to be okay till they get the ball across that half forward line, Stu, and then Tiwi are folding back really well and shutting down the play. That's space for their forwards to work into.
Yeah, Tiwi look pretty well organised down back, and they get the clearance here again, and that's Owen Henry running onto it with some pace, gets a hand pass out wide. Tippin Woody drives long down the wing, but Districts have the numbers here, and it's Keegan Dingo who takes the mark over the back easily enough. His kick's gone too far though, and it gives Babui a chance to run onto it. He's in open space, kicks short looking for Tungatalam, and no problem there. Tungatalam was thinking about playing on.
Looked like it, he teased a little bit.
But umpire said no, that was just his momentum, and he can go back and take a set shot from about 40 out.
Rocco's highlights reel is full of those when he gets those marks and has those sneaky little play-ons.
It's not over yet. He might run around the man on the mark.
Yeah, I might have spoke too soon, which he's also good at.
No, he's passing off instead to Dion Munkara, who had plenty of space at the top of the goal square, and that's pretty ordinary. He plays on with a hand pass to Alistair Darcy, who was unmarked a metre from the goal line, and another goal to Tiwi.
So Alistair Darcy kicks his second. Tiwi go inside 50s for 6 times for 4 goals, and that's a fair return. And Shannon Ruskell would not be happy about Dion Munkara actually getting loose and then that handball over the top. So
yeah,
Districts have got a fair bit of work to do about their discipline on manning up.
Yeah, we can see on the replay here, it was take your pick, wasn't it?
Yep.
Before, Wally, you touched on about Southern Districts just giving the Bombers too much space. We saw a passage of play earlier, 5 or 6 players from the Bombers all just linking up, and it looked like a training drill. All of them uncontested. Just really clean, simple, and once again, it looked like a training drill.
So the ball's thrown up. Lachlan Howe wins the tap down, but it's taken there by Josiah Farah. Wheels around and kicks short, looking for Rokar, but some good work there by Richard Puruntatameri, but loses possession, and Rokar again kicks in short and finds Schwartz, Bo Schwartz, who kicks it into the forward pocket, but off hands and out of bounds.
Puruntatameri did really well then. He came off Bo Schwartz and had an impact on that contest, and the ball he thought went out of bounds, and then Bo got the one on the way back. So good contest they're both having out there.
So quick hands in close for Districts, but plenty of Tiwi defenders there to put the pressure on, and they win the free kick and bring it out to this grandstand side at the half-back area. Babui underneath that taps it forward, and Darcy takes it here and looks to hand pass, but decides against it and takes it himself, kicks into the centre of the ground where Roy Farmer marks just backward of the centre circles there. He has a running player short. He's Owen Henry, and he has another loose player out wide, and Tiwi again coming in towards half forward. good defensive effort there by Districts, and they're able to mop up Zach Smith with the hand in there. Brody Lake chips in short to Bowden, and Bowden on to Owen Skender, who's in doing the ruck work now. Kicks down the line, and a good mark there to Steve Stewart, who hands it off, and Tiwi mount another attack, but that's gone through the hands of McLaughlin there, and Tiwi able to tidy it up. Babui tries to break the tackle there, and he's tackled by Michael Joshua, who wins the free kick and chips in short to Rankin. Rankin drives long to the pocket looking for Willie Farah. In the marking contest, umpire Noonan said that was a high tackle. Might have even been an arm chop, but free kick anyway.
Yeah.
And Willie Farah will have another shot on goal. This time the angle's a bit kinder for him, and so he's on about a 45-degree angle and be kicking from about 35, I would think. And Districts really need this one to steady and get themselves back in the game.
Yeah, there's a bit of play by Districts. They started to run the ball from defence, and they had players running and created space for themselves.
Well, that's a pretty ordinary kick by Willie Farah. It's drifted out to the forward pocket, and after the marking contest, Tiwi pick up the ball and kick it away. But it's Josiah Farah who chips in there, kicks short but misses the target, but it's picked up on the bounce, and snap around the corner, looks pretty good. It's gone not quite all the way. In fact, it was Willie Farah on the line who got a hand to it, and perhaps a bit of shepherding might have seen that through. Dion Munkara now drives it long down to this wing where Mullins takes the mark. Hand passes on. Broden Rioli left it behind, but it's Harley Puruntatameri who mops up. He kicks in short, and loose players everywhere for Tiwi, and that one's taken by Blake Puruntatameri, who kicked that good goal earlier, and he's got Rioli running onto it without much pressure inside the forward 50. And Rioli now having a look around, but may go back and have a shot from about 40 out on a pretty acute angle.
Well, I just feel like Southern Districts are about 5 seconds behind the play. Just watching Tiwi then, it took them actually stopped, and now they're lining up for goal before Southern Districts came in for help. Yeah,
you're right, Matt. I mean, Districts are rolling up with the players that goes into their forward line, but when Tiwi break, they're just not rolling back. They're not rolling back quick enough, and that's why Tiwi just working back forward just a little bit quicker than Districts are work defensively. Like Michael Bowden Ogden got caught out across the centre, and their two players were involved in that play.
Braden Rioli's kick wasn't his best effort, and out on the full, and Districts had the chance to relieve. Rokar finds Owen Skender at centre half back, and he's got some players out wide that he'll try and hit up. That's a pretty good kick, and a strong mark out there, and chips back in to Rankin in the corridor. He goes directly to centre half forward. Ball comes over the back where Dylan McLaughlin leaves it behind, but there's a number of players in there, and Tiwi work it out, and a long hand pass comes out wide here to Harley Puruntatameri, who gets on his bike with a couple of bounces and chips out wide to Owen Henry, who marks just forward of the centre wing. Kicks in towards centre half forward, and strong hands on the lead there from the big fella from Tiwi in Lachlan Howe, who's done a bit of the ruck work, but now having a rotation up forward, and he looked pretty good on the lead there with strong hands, Wally.
Yeah, Lachlan Howe's strong, good physique, good sized body, and he was actually rotating with Jack Monaghetti off the bench, and the last two rotations they've had, they've moved Lachlan forward and brought another small on when he goes onto the ball, and Jack Monaghetti comes off the ground.
That's a pretty ordinary kick off the side of the boot out to the forward pocket, and comes off the hands of Keegan Dingo and over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. So we're 20 minutes in here. Districts still haven't got a goal on the board, despite the fact that they've had plenty of opportunities to get there.
Well, you'd say the 5 points they've got, especially that last one where Willie Farah touched it on the line, and the other ones were pretty well gettable goals, so yeah, it's a pretty close contest.
So no contest in the ruck there, and we have another opportunity, but District's able to tidy it up through Rokar, who's had plenty of the ball in this first quarter, and ducks around and kicks it back inside the corridor, but Monaghetti coming through there strongly keeps the ball in front of him, but can't take possession of it, and Matt Duffy's in there fighting for it as well. The umpire says I'll take that one and ball it up.
21 minutes gone in the first quarter. You're watching Aboriginal TV Channel 4's coverage of the TIO NTFL season, and a good afternoon to those listening on our radio simulcast this afternoon as well.
So Damien Williams hand pass to Josiah Farrow, who drives districts forward again, but it's over the head of Schwartz, but he runs onto it. A bit more physical in that contest, and ball went to his advantage. He hacked it forward out of the air, and Stewart picks up and chips backwards here, and a chance for districts to Schwartz, who marks in the forward pocket.
He's looking around.
Deep in there. It's pretty deep in the pocket, but certainly gettable, I think. But the wind could assist from that side. Good pass in from McAdam to Schwartz, and was one of their better forward entries. Found the target. So Schwartz's kick on the way, and hits the near side goal post. So yet another minus score to districts. 6 of them in this first quarter without a goal. So they've had their opportunities, but just haven't taken them. Dion Mankara to kick in, goes straight up the centre of the ground and finds Richard Purantatameri, centre half back.
Inside 50s, Stu have been 17 to districts, 8 to
17.
Yeah. 17 inside 50s.
Nikes.
The Tiwi Bombers. Free kicks, 5 to districts, 2 to Tiwi, and unforced errors, 6 to Tiwi, 4 to Southern Districts, and tacklings, 10 tackles each for the effective tackles for the quarter, and the clearances, Tiwi just on top.
Quarter time here at TIO Stadium. Southern Districts no goal with the 6 behind, trailing the Tiwi Bombers 4-1-25. We'll be back right after this.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet, and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel forever, yeah, feel together, real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice,
Come in and see it.
still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
we've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium, where it's quarter time in round 7 of the TIO NTFL Men's Premier League. The Tiwi Bombers 4-1-25 Southern Districts. No goals, 6 behinds, ending on 6 for the quarter. Matt Hepworth, Stu Davis and Wally Gallio in the commentators' box this afternoon. Stu, if you were to sum up the first quarter for Districts in one word, it would be a case of missed opportunities.
Definitely. They had the majority of the play, particularly early, but just couldn't get the score on the board. And as we know, if you give Tiwi a sniff, they can get a roll on pretty quickly. And I think their first 3 goals came in about 3 minutes and took the momentum of the game away.
And Wally, that accuracy from the Tiwi Bombers as well. We know I think the first 3 or 4 goals came from their first 3 or 4 inside 50s.
Yeah, that's right. They had 3 goals from 3 and then they had 5 inside 50s and had 4 goals. So they're pretty efficient and they got some good contributors all over the ground, but I was really impressed with Lachlan Howe on the ruck, and then when he went forward gave him a real good target. And for Districts, Josiah Farah's had a fair bit of it as but Jason Purantatameri down back has been a good in for Tiwi as well.
So umpire Mark Noonan to get us underway in the second quarter. Jack Monagatti up against Riley Owen Skender. Skender over the top this time, but Monagatti, it's in fact it's Lachlan Howe. They look a bit similar from this distance. So it's Howe again. No one wins a clear tap out there, but Josiah Farah again with his hands on the ball, gets it across to Dingo, who hand passes forward to McLaughlin McLaughlin drives Districts forward. Mark spilt there by Tiwi, and Rockar picks up. Hand passes out to Duffy, who again hand passes on to McLaughlin. Advantage is paid for the free kick there. Purantarameri comes across in front and cleans up on the ground, and as usual finds a target out wide, and Tiwi relieved through Howe, and the hand pass comes across now to Mullins. Mullins drives Tiwi forward to the outer half forward flank, where Harley Purantarameri takes a mark and plays on straight away. Wheels back inside, chips in short, but Keegan Dingo's cleaning up across half back for Southern Districts, as he's done for many years. He switches the ball wide out to this side, where Willie Farrer is a long way up the ground, and takes the mark at half back.
Probably wants to get away from Jason Purantarameri for a little bit.
He kicks down the line and finds Steve Stewart, who chips in short to Dylan McLaughlin, who plays on straight away, and he's looking for Brodie Lake down there. I think, no, it's not. It's Barnett, of course, but it's a goal there to Districts in the end, and one that they've been looking for since the start of the game, obviously, but happy to get it on the board.
Yeah, it was good build-up by Southern Districts. Then it came in, one side came in the scoreboard side of the ground, came out this other side, and Willie Farrer moved his way up the ground and took a clean mark, and then moved the ball, and then quick movement by Dylan McLaughlin, who's starting to get his hands on the footy. This is his second game in for the season, I think, Dylan. First week, last week, and I think once he starts to find his feet, he'll build his game. And again, Josiah Farrer was instrumental in that. Just his off the field, just his on field, pushing people out and opening up spaces for each other. Just watching him in back play was really good.
And Beau Schwartz with a good finish, and Howe takes it cleanly out of the ruck this time. Dingo tries to break the tackle. Umpire says that's holding the ball. Dion Monkara takes the advantage, drives the ball forward. Zach Smith can't hold the mark. Oh, clever toe poke gives Ross Tungatalam the chance to run onto it. Couldn't pick it up, but managed to get his boot to it, and that's another goal to Tiwi. Tungatalam's first for the game.
It was actually the Districts player that towed it back into a dangerous area and trying to soccer it off the ground, and Tiwi get a centre break inside 50, and Ross Tungatalam gets on the end of that one and soccers through a goal where the District player... Oh, no, it wasn't. Yeah. No, it was a Tiwi player.
Yeah, it was
watching on replay, and Roscoe couldn't pick it up, but he finished off. So back in the centre of the ground after another Tiwi goal, and the score is 5-1 Tiwi to Districts, 1-6.
Umpire Rawsthorne comes in, throws the ball up, and Howe again takes it out of the ruck. He's tackled straight away, but manages to find a teammate. Mullins off one step, kicks out towards half forward here, and Isaac Wyatt worked his way to the front, but umpire said he pulled the jumper in doing so, and Tiwi have another chance to go forward, this time out to Paddy Heenan. He kicks in short, and a good pass there finds Bell on the lead out of the goal square, and Bell will take a shot from almost the exact position that Willie Farrer had a shot in the first quarter. So he's just inside the boundary line, right forward pocket, kicking from about 30 metres. Already has one goal for Tiwi. Plays on and chips in short to an unmarked Harley Purantarameri about 15 metres out from the goal square, and a couple of Districts players looking around, but someone's got to take responsibility.
Well, we saw this in the first quarter, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly right. They sort of want to zone off and wait for the big kick, and Michael Bowden found himself wanting there against Harley Purantarameri.
So Purantarameri comes in, kicking from about 15 metres. No problem whatsoever, and second goal for the quarter to Tiwi on the board, and Harley kicks his first for the game.
It does surprise me with an elite team like Southern Districts. I mean, 2 grand final appearances in the last 2 years, that they're just, I don't know if you call it poor checking, Wally, but they're just switching off. Like we saw that happen at least twice in the first quarter, and just letting it happen. And with the likes of, I don't think Shannon Rusk would be very impressed with that right now. No,
I don't think Shannon would be really happy with that. You know, they guard the goal line, which is good, but they've got to guard the head of the square as well on the forward line, and Tiwi will always use that space, and Tom Lamb did was smart. Then he just took his time and had his awareness around and made sure that they kicked that goal through Harley Purantara Mary.
So Districts this time with the clearance. Rokar's hand pass to McAdam, back to Rokar, who drives the ball deep into the forward line, goes over the top of everyone's head, but working back. A good mark taken in defence there for Tiwi by Daniel McClendon. He plays on with a hand pass but misses the target, and it finishes up being a minor score for Districts.
Take it where they can get it.
So Tiwi bring it back quickly out to this side. Howe takes that easily, plays on with by hand to a running Owen Henry, who puts it over the head of Alistair Darcy. You can run onto it now. Wheels back around and chips back into Owen Henry. Owen Henry kicks short, and Bell again takes the mark outside 50. So Owen Henry's been pretty busy in the game so far, and particularly in this early in this second quarter, and another good hit up to a lead from Bell.
Yeah, Owen Henry sort of ran that ball really well off half back after Howe took that mark, ran inside and then followed up his kick, and the District player just stopped and watched. So Shannon Rusker would be pulling his hair out at the moment.
Doesn't it, Wally?
Yeah, it does. They just expect someone else to down the ground to do the work for them, and it's just not happening. And if Tiwi get their tails up, they're hard to stop.
Bell's kick on the way was always just to the right side, but a minor score only. But it's Districts who bring the ball in. Lionel Ogden runs on quickly and gains about 30 metres before he kicks to the outer side. McLaughlin's in front there but can't control the ball, and it's forced over the boundary line for another boundary throw in on the outer side.
Districts have got to try and control the ball a little bit. Just then that they had a player out wide on the flank, was by himself, but he went to a 2-1 with McLaughlin.
Charlie McAdam this time drives in, but that's an ordinary looking kick, and Jason Purantara will tidy that one up. Hand passes across to Michael Dunn. Dunn chips into Tungatalum, who's about 55 out, kicks to the goal square, but Damien Williams working back takes a good overhead mark to chop that one off for Southern Districts, and he looks short here, and mark's taken there by Rankin. Rankin goes wide, and Rokar out there chips in short again to Bowden. This is better control of the footy by Districts. Bowden drives along that outer wing, and out in front was Barnett, but couldn't keep hold of the mark, and it went off hands over the boundary line.
When Charlie McAdam won that ball on the boundary throw and had that missed kick, there was 5 Tiwi players to 1 District player in that instance.
Wow.
Willie Farrell was the only District player that he was trying to get it to, and it turned into a 1-on-5 and inside 50 for Tiwi.
Rokar underneath. This one gets a hand pass out to McAdam. He hacks it forward on the left foot towards half forward, and Josiah Farrer there picks the ball up, runs off, takes a bounce, kicks in short, passes pretty good, and Bo Schwartz falling takes a good mark about 30 out directly in front. So a bit more urgency from Districts there, and some good control by Josiah Farrer.
Yeah, it was as you said, Stuart, it was a kick hacked forward by McAdam, and Josiah Farrer made the most of it, and he had just great vision, you know, going forward. He actually kicked it back around his left foot to his right-hand side, and Bo Schwartz took a mark falling backwards, and now having a shot from about 35 metres out straight in front.
So Bo Schwartz, District's only goal kicker so far, and this one looks like it's drifting away to the right. Got looked like a lead back on that one a bit and got under it, and it faded off, and we bring it back in now, but it's Keegan Dingo who marked that uncontested.
Been good at that today, chopping them off.
That's what he's done for about 15 years, I think.
Yep.
But, ball comes out to Schwartz, who hand passes across to McAdam. McAdam chips in with the left foot and finds his teammate there in Barnett, about 40 out from goal, almost directly in front. So Districts again getting it inside 50 a fair bit this quarter, but still only the 1 goal on the board.
The real difference at this stage of the game is the unforced turnovers. There was 3 to Tiwi, 1 to Southern Districts.
Barnett's kick on the way, and looks like it's off to the right again, so 1 goal 9 now for Southern Districts. So
they've kicked 1-3 for this quarter. Tiwi have kicked 1-1.
Wow.
Ball's out wide there with Purantatameri. Slows
really
it down looking
from
for it.
their 8 points they've kicked, Stu, there's only that one rushed where they misused the handball. Tiwi misused the handball in their back half.
So Tiwi again coming forward, this time to finds Mullins at half forward. He brings directly across to centre half forward where Darcy's in the perfect position, had the sit and a double grab mark directly in front, 30 metres out.
You're lining up for his third, Wally? Darcy?
Yeah, Darcy's lining up for his third, 2 in the first, and this will be his first in the second quarter, and that's the third mark they've taken inside 50 for the quarter. They have 5 for the game, Districts have 4.
So Darcy's kick on the way now. Goal umpire makes a bit of ground to the right and it's offline, a minor score only. Alistair Darcy, a couple of years at Tiwi now. He spent some time at Tars. That would have been when he was at school, Wally, would that be right?
Yeah, that's right. And then he transferred mid-year, I think, with Waratahs 1 year just before clearances when Brenton toy coats.
Yep. So Districts have worked the ball out to the half-back flank. That's put his teammate under pressure a bit there, but and Ross Tungatalan pounces on that one, drives in towards goal with a long-range shot, but he's dragged it across the goal, and a minor score only. So Tiwi starting to miss some chances now, but still got a handy lead. That short kick in doesn't find the target, and Districts find themselves under pressure inside their defensive 50. Michael Bowden on this one now kicks, but it's smothered. Now kicks it off the ground. Isaac Wyatt takes possession and he hacks the ball about 5 metres forward. Dion Mankara there looked to be tackled without the ball, but play on's the call. And some good work by Rankin for Districts. Opens them up and he chips across and finds Rokar.
Yeah, they clawed themselves out of the grave there.
Clawed it.
Rokar kicks short, but and Bowden marks and plays on now, but not allowed to because he'd worked forward of the mark before he attempted to play on. So
Mr. Technical's on the mark, Mark Noonan. You won't get away with any of that stuff with Mark.
So Bowden for Districts in the back pocket. He is looking short and kicks out wide there and finds Mullins. In fact, it's Ogden. Ogden's kick along the line is not his best effort and goes out of bounds on the full, right in front of the TIO Stadium scoreboard. And looks like Harley Purantatameri will take the free kick out there. No. I said, you're not having it. It goes back to Howe, the big fella.
Yeah, it's been impressive today, Howe. He's been getting around the ground. He was taking the mark forward and he's been quite good in the ruck.
And he's hit a target there in Mullins. Just inside, just outside the square. But his kick's chopped off by Damien Williams, who's been pretty solid in defence for Districts. Williams goes short again, but through the hands of Dingo and touched over the boundary line and another throw.
I was just about to praise Williams and Dingo and saying that they've really been holding back the Tiwi floodgates so far, but a bit of a fumble there by Dingo.
Yeah, we've got a couple of players playing back. Schwartz is playing, he was forward now, he's playing loose and defensive as well. Plus Dingo.
So a quick kick forward by Rokar from Districts. Sees Roy Farmer on the end of that, can't take the ball cleanly. And we've got Stacks on here, and we'll have a ball up on the outer side. Daniel McClendon comes up with it, and we'll hand it over to umpire Heaslip. We'll ball it up on the outer side of the ground. Tap forward again by Tiwi, and the kick comes forward. Williams is sitting under this one, and he takes an uncontested mark at half back. Once again on the left foot this time, chips in short, and Districts have the chance to go forward. Out here to Stewart. Stewart drives long into the forward line, hands on the ball there, and a very good mark by Sam Barnett, about 40 out.
Yeah, so third mark for, this is the third mark for Districts inside 50, and Barnett's taken 2 of them. He's quite impressive overhead, Stu.
Yeah, he looks a handy sort of player, and they need him to kick a goal now, though. Kicks on the way, looks a lot better effort, and his teammates like it. So does the goal umpire. So Districts have their second on the board at the 15.5-minute mark of the second quarter.
So that's Stewart's first for the game, his fourth shot on goal and his second mark inside 50, and he's been worthwhile for him up forward. Bo Schwartz has been handy. Josiah Farah comes back on the ground, and he has been the key. Him and Roker in the middle of the ground. And for Sam Barnett, sorry. Thank you, Stu.
Just good to see a bit of accuracy in the District's forward line now.
Makes a change when you kick goals, Matty.
It certainly does, doesn't it?
Scoreboard looks a lot better.
Yeah, that's right. Tiwi 6-4-40, still leading up against the Southern Districts 2-9-21. 16 minutes gone in the second quarter here at TIO Stadium.
So ball's grabbed out of the ruck contest by Howell, who hand-passed it forward. And umpire Noonan says that the Tiwi player Mullins dived on the ball and then was tackled. And it's a bit of a lazy return of the ball, and lucky to get away with that. But Stewart, the recipient of the free kick, kicks out wide, looking for Bowden. He runs onto it now, gets a hand pass away just before he got tackled, but didn't hit the target. And Tiwi looked to rebound, but picked up by Duffy out there, but his hand pass has gone nowhere. And Tiwi have the chance through Tipungwuti to attack again, and he finds Dion Munkara loose on the half-forward flank. He chips over the top. That's a pretty good-looking kick, and finds Monagatti at the top of the goal square. So the numbers were with Tiwi all the way in the forward line there after the turnover on the wing by Districts, and they were never going to catch up with them.
Yeah, just a couple of panics. Like Michael Bowden dropped that mark and then just got the ball and tried to handball it forward, and then Duffy worked really well across to assist and outnumber the opposition. He wins the ball, and then he just wasn't composed enough to hold the football to make a better decision.
Well, they haven't been made to pay.
Did he miss that? He was sitting on the square.
That's a pretty good kick for Jack Monagatti. Nah, Jack,
he'll be coming knocking on your door later on.
Jack has fears in front of goal sometimes.
That was effort. It was sitting on the square for the shot.
And for those that didn't see it, was no score at all, hit the behind post. So Districts took the free kick in. I'm sure...
a ruckman's curse.
I'm sure when Jack gets his next opportunity, he won't be thinking about that at all.
No, I don't think so, Stu. Because he probably wasn't thinking about the 100 shots before he's missed like that. Jack's a competitor, that's for sure.
So Adam Tipungwuti out on the half-forward flank with the free kick. Chips in. And big effort from Damien Willems. Couldn't quite hold the mark, and I think he's hurt himself as he hit the ground. But
yeah, he flipped onto his back, Stu.
Ball comes in now. Brody Lake does the tidy-up work for Districts. Hand passes forward here to Willie Farah. Across to Josiah Farah. He's going to be run down from behind. And Alistair Darcy, who's everywhere in the game at the moment, makes the good tackle. Is rewarded with the free kick. He chips in short, and they're coming from everywhere to get kicks in the forward line. Jason Puruntatameri just outside the 50, taking the mark here.
Well, Districts have changed their structure and set up a bit, Stu, where they've rolled everybody bar one forward up the ground, so that brings Jason Puruntatameri into the game as well.
Went for the big barrel, got it to the goal square, but Districts able to mop it up and comes straight down the ground, and a juggled mark taken there by Barnett.
And this is where Districts have got to work really hard and quickly to outnumber Tiwi as they're rolling back, but looks like Tiwi a bit more carry through from Dylan McLaughlin, who kicks inside 50, turns the ball over to Tiwi.
And it's Michael Dunn who'll bring it away for Tiwi. Kicks wide out here looking for Roy Farmer. He takes the mark on the chest under a bit of pressure and plays on straight away, and delivers beautifully to Darcy again at half forward. Darcy wheels around, kicks in quickly, and the kick comes across where Dion Munkara almost takes a one-hander. He's caught underneath the ball now, and umpire Thomas Manning says, I'll have that one, and it'll be a ball up. So bell again for Tiwi on the forward line. He's been busy when he hasn't been in the middle, giving him a good option up forward. Ball comes out the back of the pack. Dion Munkara on the left foot around the corner. Kicks towards goal, but just misses to the left-hand side. So we're at the 20-minute mark of this second quarter, a couple of goals each in this quarter, so it won't be an extra long one, and the players will be thankful for a 20-minute break at half-time, I would think, in these conditions.
Yeah, 2 goals to Districts, 2-3 to Tiwi, 1 goal for Stu.
So the kick comes up the middle and misses the target, and here's the chance for Jack Monagatti to make amends for his earlier miss.
I can't look, boys, I can't look.
No, Dion Moncara's there.
Okay.
Jack's going back confidently, confident stride as he goes back, and maybe he'll prefer the further distance. So he'll kick from about 30, directly in front.
He's going back 70.
He looks pretty purposeful, and he's not even considering any other options than having a shot at goal.
No, he's quite positive about it.
It's tumbled a bit off the boot, but it's straightened up and straight through the middle. So he looks pretty happy about it as well. Got a bit of spring in his stride as he goes back to the centre of the ground. And Tiwi extend that lead.
So Jack Monagatti sprays it from 10 out, but gets it from 35 out.
Yeah, so Ross Tungatalum has 1 for the quarter, so is Jack Monagatti and Harley Puruntatameri. So they've kicked 3 for the quarter. Sorry, Stu.
Yep. So they won the quarter again at this stage, and despite the fact that Districts have had plenty of the ball and a number of opportunities.
You're watching Aboriginal TV Channel 4's coverage of the TIO NTFL season. 21 minutes gone in the second quarter. Southern Districts 21, Tiwi Bombers 47.
Monagatti doing the ruck work now, gets his hand to it, falls to McLaughlin, who hand passes forward, but to no one in particular. Tungatalum picks up, and a clever little hand pass across there to Cantilla, who took a bounce but lost control of the ball, and allows Districts to tidy up. And Bowden again hacks the ball forward for Districts, and they have a contest out there. McLaughlin grabbed the jumper of Jono Mullins, and the umpire saw it that way, and it'll be a free kick to Mullins on the outer wing. He's got a running player and chips in short. And Tiwi drive into half forward now with a bit of a wobbler. Damien Williams had first to the ball but couldn't take the mark. Harley Puruntatameri does some clever work but until he tripped over his own feet, and now he's caught underneath on top of the ball, but Williams in there flicked it out, but umpire Thomas Manning said he threw the ball in fact, and Harley Puruntatameri will take the free kick just on the point of the centre square, Tiwi's attacking side of the ground. Puruntatameri goes in short looking for Tungatalum, can't take the mark under pressure, and the ball spills out. A quick hand pass comes to Schwartz, who manages to get it out. Williams fumbles there, but butters up the second time, gets it to Rokar. Rokar kicks wide looking for McLaughlin, and the siren beats them all as it trickles over the boundary line to end the second quarter. And so Tiwi again have won the quarter, but go into half-time with a pretty handy 26-point lead.
Yeah, it's quite interesting there that Tiwi had 12 inside 50s to District 7, kicking 3 goals, 4 for the quarter, and Districts kicking 2 goals, 3 for the quarter. Forced and unforced turnovers are similar. You know, Southern Districts had 5 forced turnovers, Tiwi Bombers had 4, and they both had 5 unforced turnovers. So, but the forced turnovers, the unforced turnovers with Districts were, 4 of them were in their back half and inside 50, Matt.
Yeah, that's when it's going to cost you.
Which is going to cost you. So, gives Tiwi that just takes the pressure off to relieve when they can have quick movement in the football, and Tiwi can set up behind the football when the ball's caught inside their 50.
It's half-time here at TIO Stadium. Southern Districts 2-9-21, trailing the Tiwi Bombers 7-5-47.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Absolutely 0.
0.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be 0.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
1300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1, bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Kennard's make your job easy.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Looking for the best and brightest to join your team? At Quality People, we specialise in finding quality, hard-to-get professionals, and we have an office right here in Darwin. Kick your recruitment goals with Quality People. qualitypeople.com.au.
Now that's quality.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
On Territory roads, anything can happen, so you need to drive real careful. Dirt roads can be dusty, making it hard to see. Or they can be slippery and you can lose control. When you're not driving on dirt, slow down, will ya? Drive to the conditions and arrive in good condition.
The NTFL clubs and umpires would like to share the following events and messages and thank their sponsors.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy.
I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
You go home and get your scannies, I'll go home and get my panties, and away we'll go. Oh, shuffle up the buffalo, shuffle up the buffalo. Oh.
Wedding or birthdays coming up? Maybe a get-together with friends and family. Waratah Clubhouse at Gardens Oval is the perfect venue for your next community function. Celebrate in the home to one of Darwin's iconic football clubs, Waratah Clubhouse.
For more information, please visit the relevant club or umpire's Facebook page.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium, round 7 of NTFL action. It is, of course, the Indigenous round at half-time here in the second game of the round, Tiwi Bombers and Southern Districts. And it's Tiwi Bombers all the way, 7-5-47, Southern Districts 2-9-21 to take through the second half of football. Matt Hepworth, Wally Gallio and Stu Davis as the umpire holds the ball up in the air. Stu Davis, take us away.
Jack Monagatti wins the tap there, straight down to Adam Tippenwoody. He runs Tiwi forward, kicks inside, finds Jono Mullins. Mullins wheels around, kicks directly towards full forward, but Keegan Dingo again chops off across half-back. He kicks out, chips in and finds Rankin, and District's running the ball out of defence now, but that hand pass was pretty loose. It spills out to McLaughlin, who kicks forward for Districts, but no mark taken there, and Tiwi took possession, but umpire said that he didn't dispose of the ball properly, and Sam Barnett will get the free kick just outside 50. Kicks long towards the top of the goal square. Willie Farrer and Jason Puruntatameri wrestling there, but coming across was the other Tiwi defender who took the mark, and kicks out wide and finds Richard Puruntatameri in the back pocket. Puruntatameri short here to Adam Tippenwoody, still inside defensive 50 for Tiwi. He kicks in short looking for Monagatti, who overruns it, picked up by McAdam. His kick comes out here to Michael Joshua, but he misses the target, and Damien Williams, and looks like Damien Williams might have been moved forward, Wally.
Yeah, he can be a bit of a swingman, Stu, and he's gone forward for Buffs in past years and kicked goals because he's very good in the air.
Hacked out of the air there by Puruntatameri, and Darcy manages to get a hand to it, but Lionel Ogden for Districts pumps it back into the inside 50. Barnett there with Lehman, but it comes to ground now. Willie Farrer hand passes but misses the target. Jason Puruntatameri playing for the free kick there, wasn't awarded, but his teammate in Lehman was rewarded with the free kick, and he switches the ball across to this side where Richard Puruntatameri marks, plays on straight away, has a bounce, has another bounce. He's going to be run down here, but gets his hand pass away to Paddy Heenan. Heenan kicks just before he's tackled, but Lionel Ogden intercepts for Districts. Chips in short to Rokar into Smith inside the square, and now Smith pumps it in long towards the goal square, and Willie Farrer and Jason Puruntatameri again, but umpire says that Farrer was grabbed in the marking contest there, and he'll take the free kick. And Districts have looked a bit more lively to start this second half, Wally.
Yeah, they've used the ball smarter, Stewie, and they've used the ball a bit shorter, and they've opened up that forward line a bit to leave Willie one-on-one with Jason Puruntatameri, and he finally gets one.
It's a much better effort, and he's letting Jason know about it, but Jason won't take a backward step, that's for sure.
So that's Willie Farrer's first goal, and probably the first time that he's won a contest against Jason Puruntatameri.
Southern Districts just showing a little bit more fight in the early stages of the third quarter than what they've shown in the first two previously. And an ability to lock it in the forward 50 a lot more as well. And in fact, even when it's drifted outside of the forward 50, they haven't let it drift past the centre. So, as you said, Wally, just setting up better within the first few minutes of the third quarter.
Yeah, and they've lowered their eyes a little bit too. Like a couple of times in the first half, they had people short, or they had players short, but they decided to kick it long to a 3-on-1 or a 2-on-1, or it wasn't helping Willie or the forwards. But now they're sort of lowering their eyes and picking out targets and getting Tiwi caught in between.
Ball up there, but it's a blocking free kick paid, and Tiwi will get the advantage of that. Tippenwoody plays on and drives deep into the forward line, but the ball's chopped off in the goal square, and comes back out here towards McAdam, who took his eyes off the ball and thought he might win a free kick, but it was Bell who mopped it up and hit the target. Darcy inside forward 50 again.
Repeat entry there by Tiwi Bombers, and especially well done by Tom Bell. Not Lamb,
yes.
But Tom Bell.
That's right. That's Lamb.
Apologise to Tom for calling him Lamb.
Lamb spelt B-E-L-L.
Yeah. Tom Lamb was drafted to West Coast Eagles in 2014.
Alistair Darcy's kick on the way, but misses everything on the near side, and it's out of bounds on the full. Districts will relieve from the back pocket. Bowden who brings it in, kicks long outside of 50, bayonet up high, but a good strong mark taken there by Rory Lehman for Tiwi. He pumps the ball back into the top of the goal square, punched away by Districts, and Isaac White gets a hand pass across, but the ball's fumbled. Comes back out again to Holman. Holman out to Bowden, and Districts come out of defence out to the outer wing, but Tiwi have the numbers, but it falls in the hands of Rankin, who found Willie Farah. Willie Farah a fair way up the ground. I've noticed he's playing out at half forward now, and Purantatameri's gone with him. Rankin running through from just outside 50, has a kick on goal, but just misses to the right-hand side.
Not a bad crack by Rankin there.
Very
just
good.
missed.
He's been quite handy today. He's been efficient with when he's got the ball in hand and worked really well for him.
So the ball's brought in to this near side. McAdam gets his hands to it first, but it falls forward to Heenan, who drives it forward. Ogden's the first to get there, can't take the mark, but picks it up on the bounce. And passes across to Corbett, back to Ogden. Ogden from about 55 drives long towards the goal, but getting back there, the mark's not taken, and Willie Farah comes in and picks up some scrambling work by Tiwi. Eventually sees Jason Purantatameri come away with a long hand pass. Finishes in the hands of Michael Dunn, who chips in short here to Dion Munkara at centre half back. So a bit of panic back there, but they worked it out, and Munkara now switches to this outer side, where Cantilla takes the mark in front of the commentary position, drives down the line and finds Harley Purantatameri, who almost spilled it but managed to drag it in. And he steadies things now and kicks in short. That's a well-directed pass to Cantilla. He hand passes on to Dion Munkara. Munkara is grounded after he kicked the ball, and so a free kick down the field will go to Ross Tungatalam. And probably not the person that Districts would want to have this kick.
No, that's for sure. Umpire Manning just going to talk to Rankin about the late hit.
And Manning Rankin kicked his boot, didn't he? He said, if your boot's off, I'll send it a little bit further then.
So kick on the way from Tungatalam. It's coming back, but not far enough. It's just missed to the left-hand side. So a minor score for Tiwi.
Tiwi's first score for the quarter takes them to 7-6. 7 minutes, 33 seconds gone.
Brodie Lake coming out of defence for Districts, hits up Michael Joshua in the centre of the ground. He comes out wide here looking for Fraser McCormack, who took possession, was tackled, the ball spilled free. A bit of a tunnel there from Isaac Wyatt, and not really appreciated, but it'll be a Tiwi free kick to McClendon, I think it'll be. Daniel McClendon, yeah. So he goes over and retrieves the ball from the fence. He's got to go back behind the mark. And just a bit untidy there from Isaac Wyatt. McClendon kicks in short, looking for the big fella. He can't control it. Picked up there by Rokar. Hand passes, pretty ordinary hand pass, fell short. Brodie Lake doing some tough work in and under. He's tackled with the ball. Umpire says he had no real opportunity to get rid of that, and it'll be a ball up.
It's a bit of a loose and messy couple of minutes of play, but if it's proved one thing, the tackling intensity of these teams is certainly not slowed down, given it's 9 minutes into the third quarter now.
Owen Henry gets that clearance and kicks down the line to Alistair Darcy. Darcy's kick inside finds Dion Munkara, who's looking for a 50-metre penalty, but it's not coming, and now Dion drives it in towards the forward pocket, where Roy Farmer unmarked in the forward pocket.
It's going to be a tight angle for Farmer.
He's not having a shot. He's chipped to someone who's run to the goal square, and it's Blake Purantatameri. He spilt the mark, then kicked it off the ground, claims the goal. Bit of a conference between the umpires, and we're waiting on the decision.
They're probably just working out whether his foot was over the line.
Yeah. It's a goal.
So Blake Puruntatameri scores Tiwi's first goal for the second half, and his second for the game.
Yeah, it was just a shamble. Roll the ball forward, trying to get it forward, and Roy Farmer sort of saw Blake in the goal square by himself and just kicked it a little bit above his head, and the ball hit the ground, and then he got his foot to it and put it over the line.
Probably the right move for Farmer as well. That was always going to be an incredibly tough angle from where he was standing.
Even so, you would think that Districts should be able to get enough pressure on to force that over the line.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yep.
We talked about that in the first half, about their one-on-one accountability.
Ball goes in the air again. Howe gets the tap, running through as Tungatalam takes a bounce, running out of the centre square. Hand pass across to Dion Munkara on the left foot towards goal, and it's through. Some lightning play from Tiwi there, clean as you like it. Tap it from Howe down to Tungatalam, ran the ball through to half forward, and hand passed off to Munkara, who has exquisite finishing skills.
Yeah, Munkara was really good. Ross Tungatalam got a head of steam at the centre bounce and hit the ball running. Took one bounce, just held the ball up enough for Dion to get inside 50 and finish off from about 58 metres, and tells the crowd, thank you very much, I'm here to play.
But good by Tungatalam. He was under pressure in the end, but didn't panic.
No, and that's been the difference of, I think, the two sides. Districts tend to panic a little bit with ball in hand in those closed situations.
Ball bobbles around in the centre. Eventually a kick comes out, and Tungatalam in there again. His kick's smothered. Cantilla hacks it off the ground, comes out here to Mullins. Mullins hand passes wide, and it's Richard Puruntatameri who's running through the wing. Hand passes inboard to Heenan. Heenan takes a long shot, but that's offline and goes out towards the forward pocket there, where Keegan Dingo is first to it. Hand passes over the top to Holman, and Holman brings Districts out of defence to McAdam on the outer wing. He chips in short, looking for Josiah Farrer, who takes the mark, keeps running, kicks it on that left foot, looking for Rokar up forward. Ball spills out the back to Barnett. Barnett hand passes over the top, but not quickly enough for the umpire, and that's a free kick for holding the ball. So McClendon again back there doing some good work in defence for Tiwi this quarter. Babui takes the mark and comes out wide to Jason Puruntatameri, running out of defence. Bouncing with the right hand, kicking with the left foot, as is normal. Kicks long down the wing. Cantilla underneath this one, can't take the mark. Damien Williams comes in to lend some assistance for Districts to McLaughlin, who taps it forward. And quick hand pass comes across here to Stewart, who threw the ball according to the umpire. And it's Cantilla, Matthew Cantilla, who take the free kick. In fact, he hand passes across to Roy Farmer, who drives the ball long looking for Bell. Marking contest there with Holman, but comes to ground now. And Brody Lakes in, picks up cleanly, hand passes over the top to Damien Williams, who stands and chips into McAdam. McAdam's got some loose players in the centre of the ground, goes back into the corridor and finds Ogden. Ogden drives long, looking for Willie Farrer, who's in the position of advantage but couldn't take the mark. Puruntatameri tapped it away into the hands of Rokar, but coming across in defence for Tiwi was Riddle, who got a fist to it and saw it over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Tell you what, the excitement has definitely stepped up a notch, and you feel that Tiwi's are just on the fringe of opening up the floodgates, and Southern Districts know that. And right now, 13 minutes gone in the third quarter. Southern Districts, it's a bit of a do-or-die moment right now. They've only got 3 goals on the scoreboard with 13 minutes in, so the Tiwis are going to either open up the floodgates or it's do-or-die right now for Southern Districts.
And the assistants at McLendon and also Riddle have in the back half of Tiwi have been good in the last couple of minutes. McLendon was really good early in the piece, and then Riddle just intercepting that pass going into the square for Southern Districts.
So the ball's retrieved from over the fence, and we'll get the boundary throw in. Willie Farrer and Monagatti doing battle. Monagatti in front gets the tap away, but Farrer gets the ball on the ground, picks up and is tackled. And umpire says that was a high fend off against Willie Farrer. Some
spot fire here.
Yeah, bit of heat in there, and it's It's a Tiwi free kick at the moment, but we'll just see what eventuates out of this. I think they're breaking up now, and we'll get back to some football action. So play recommences, comes out here to Darcy, who drops the mark, but it bounces back into his hands, fortunately, and he runs away and kicks in short here to Lehman on the half-back flank. Lehman drives down towards the wing. Monagatti in battle there with Dingo. Some clever work by Cantilla. Took the ball cleanly. Kicks the ball very high towards half forward. Ogden looks like he'll get underneath this one and takes the mark in front of Tip and Woody. He goes straight up the middle of the ground and hits up Corbett in the centre. Corbett long into the forward line, but looks like Tiwi. Oh, some good work coming in there by Michael Joshua. Got his hands to it, but Jason Puruntatameri, ever reliable, tidies up and hits up Harley Puruntatameri out on the half-back flank. He drives down here.
Is that 3-on-1 again, Wally?
For Mullins, and Mullins kicks it, squares it back into the corridor to Michael Dunn, who marks in front of Williams. Dunn switches it out to the outer wing, and Paddy Heenan has some space. Kicks forward looking for Blake Puruntatameri, who drops the mark but is able to recover and take possession of the ball. His kick's good inside to Dion Mankara, who drives long to the top of the goal square, and the mark is taken 10 metres out for Tiwi by Adam Tipungwuti, and some pretty good transition play by Tiwi then.
Yeah, they were very clean, and even if they made mistakes, luck goes the fortune, and it comes back into their arms, and they move the ball really quickly and smartly. And again, District's just zoning off the Tiwi players, and they need to be more accountable. You know, just then Michael Bowden just watching and watching and watching. He needed to make it a one-on-one before the ball game in there.
So that's a goal to Tipungwuti, and after District scored the first goal of the quarter, Tiwi have scored the last three and extended that lead again. So
all of a sudden, Tiwi Bombers 10-6-66, Southern Districts 3-10-28. 17 minutes gone in the third quarter here at TIO Stadium. Round 7, the Indigenous round this weekend, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's good to see that the clubs have gone to the effort of getting Indigenous Guernsey. Districts are in their white Indigenous Guernsey, and Tiwi in their traditional black and red sash with their Tiwi design on that.
You certainly don't have to look far for some quality Indigenous talent in the NTFL.
No, that's for sure.
So Jack Monagatti a bit confused there, standing on the wrong side of the line, but he's put right, and he comes in and thumps the ball forward now. Tipungwuti runs onto it, takes possession, fends off the player who attempted to tackle, had a bounce, lost control, picked it up again on the left foot, but he's missed to the right-hand side and a minor score.
So 4 centre clearances to Tiwi Bombers. Adam Tipungwuti's moved from the forward pocket into the midfield, and Dion Mankara and Ross Tangatalan being very handy this quarter for Tiwi Bombers.
So Holman brings it in for Districts to the grandstand side, where Keegan Dingo playing in front was interfered with. Advantage is paid, and Lionel Ogden now runs on, hand passes on to Brody Lake. Brody Lake kicks inside forward 50 for Districts. Oh, it runs through the legs of Jason Puruntatameri there, and Willie Farah hanging at the back. Fortunately had the ball run his way, and he ran onto it and kicked the goal from a metre out.
Luck's a fortune sometimes in this game, and Willie let Jason Puruntatameri away from him, and Jason wasn't one of the very rare times that he does miss and not clean, and sure enough it went through his legs, and Willie was at the back of the pack. We see in replay, Jason comes off to impact the contest, does everything right except hold the ball up, and Willie runs onto it.
Just slipped through Puruntatameri's legs.
Yeah,
in the end,
he just didn't have his hands deep enough, that's all.
18 minutes gone in the third quarter. You're watching Aboriginal TV, Channel 4's coverage of the TIO NTFL season, where it's the Tiwi Bombers 10-7-67, Southern Districts 4-10-34.
Monagatti again, ball's hacked out of the air, and Districts go forward. Bo Schwartz there running onto it, goes to ground, gets a hand to the ball and recovers his feet, picks up the ball and squares it across here to Riley Owen Skender. The ruckman takes the mark coming forward out of the ruck contest. Delivers in forward. There's a bit of space out here for Districts, but the ball doesn't bounce their way, and Jason Puruntatameri runs off his man Farah and runs away down this grandstand side now with a couple of bounces. Kicks inside looking for Roy Farmer and hits him, but Farmer can't take the mark. A strong body contest in there, and Dingo does well to pick it up and get the hand pass out to Rankin, who takes a bounce, kicks inside from 50, but that's a pretty blind kick, and it's all Districts back there. And Nick Riddle tidies up for Districts. He hands it over to Bell, who drives long down the outer wing, and Puruntatameri marks. Chips inside and finds Harley Puruntatameri, who plays on in plenty of space, takes a bounce and a second, and he's running towards the 50 now with a third and fourth bounce.
It's getting
now
close.
He's about 30 out, has a kick on goal, but misses to the near side from that outer half-forward flank.
Gee, that was like watching cat and mouse then, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the cat was coming for him.
The free kick will come back to him as it went through a point, so there's no advantage given there, so the advantage will go back to where he kicked the ball from.
So the score doesn't count, of course, because there was a free kick after he disposed of the ball, but Harley Puruntatameri will take the kick from deep in that outer right forward pocket for Tiwi. Plenty of numbers back inside the 50 now, but he still finds a loose player and hits up Blake Puruntatameri on a much better angle, not any closer to goal I wouldn't think, but a much better angle, and Blake's having a few words, but looks like he'll go back and take the shot, and he'll kick from about 40 out.
He's been quite lively, Blake Puruntatameri, up in the forward line today. He's got a couple, now he's lining up for his third.
Kicks on the way, it's going to be close on the goal line, but it's missed to the near side, and a behind for Tiwi. They've racked up a few this quarter.
3-3 for the quarter, Stu. Tiwi have kicked, and Districts have kicked 2 goals, 1.
So straight down the middle of the ground, this kick in. Michael Dunn gets into the back of Zach Smith there, and it's a little bit untidy, I think. So
would have been interesting. Dylan McLaughlin wanted to play on with that. Ball made advantage, and the umpire dropped it.
So chips across here to Stewart inside the centre square. He's pops it up towards centre half forward now. Barnett coming across, gets his hand to the ball and also recovers first. He's pushed as he tried to kick the ball. It trickles forward where McLaughlin taps it back towards Barnett. Ball comes back inside, and quick kick by Fraser McCormack was half smothered and went out of bounds in the left forward pocket for Districts.
There's Sam Smith running water for Districts, and Districts would like him playing out there, but Sam's off to Sturt for the pre-season. Stu?
Yeah, I wish him all the best. He's of course missed a year with that ACL, so picked up here by Stewart, kicks to the top of the square, but it's Jason Puruntatameri there all by himself. Flicks the hand pass across to Richard Puruntatameri. Hand passes inside to Paddy Heenan. Heenan goes short looking for Owen Henry, misses him, but Roy Farmer grabs the ball, hand passes across to Alistair Darcy, who's got plenty of time, gets a hand pass back to Owen Henry. He kicks in looking for Monagatti, who's manhandled there, but the ball spills out, and it's Districts who come away through Holman. He hits up Michael Joshua at half forward. Joshua off the left foot looking for Damien Williams. Coming across was Harley Puruntatameri, but Jason finished up with the ball, hand passed across, and now it's Adam Tipungwuti running across half back for Tiwi. Kicks forward looking for the advantage of Michael Dunn, but it went over his head, and McCormack was first there. He manages to toe poke it out to McAdam now. McAdam on the right foot, but that's going to be tidied up by Babui back there, and he chips in to the centre square and finds Michael Dunn just forward of centre. Dunn goes out wide again to the outer half forward flank, and the mark's taken out there by Dion Mankara, who kicks inside 50 as the siren goes. Umpire says that's not a mark, and that's the end of proceedings for the third quarter.
So Tiwi controlled probably the last part of that quarter by kicking 3 goals straight to Districts 2 goals 1 for the quarter. Tiwi kicked 3 goals 3 for the quarter, but kicked 3 goals in a row. inside 50 is pretty much the same, but the clearances around the ground now, Tiwi ended up with 8 clearances to District's 1, so they've been winning their fair share of the ball at boundary throw and stoppages, and I think the reason why they're doing that, they've been served really well by McLinden and Riddle in their back half, and they just get more numbers to the ball and run and share and carry.
Three-quarter time here at TIO Stadium. Tiwi Bombers 10-8-68 leading Southern Districts 4-10-34. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel forever, yeah, feel together, real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing could ever bring me down.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona. Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice,
Come in and see it.
still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more.
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. Play just about to get underway in the fourth quarter. Round 7 action with the Tiwi Bombers up against Southern Districts at three-quarter time. Tiwi Bombers 10-8-68. Southern Districts 4-10-34. Matt Hepworth, Wally Gallio and Stu Davis. Wally, the Districts managed to hold the Bombers back a bit, but it's probably not going to be enough given they're only sitting on 4 goals at the moment, looking at that margin.
Yeah, they just haven't been clean and efficient going forward, and they don't work hard enough back for mine.
Stu Davis, take us away.
So Damien Williams been thrown into the ruck for Districts, wins that hit out. Rockar on the end of it gets a smothered kick. Farah tries to hand pass across to a teammate, but butters up himself and chips in short here, and some good follow-up work. And now Matt Duffy plays on, wheels around, kicks directly towards goal, but Mark not able to be taken there. The umpire's found a free kick, umpire Noonan, and it'll go District's way. And it'll be Barnett who'll have another shot at goal for a high tackle from about 30 out on a slight angle. So Districts need this one to get them kick-started in the last quarter. Barnett's kick looks pretty good. Goal umpire's made a little bit of ground, but that's all good. It's snuck inside the right-hand goal post, and that's the quick-fire start that Districts wanted in this last quarter.
Yeah, so free kick there to Barnett. He's kicked his second. He kicked one in the second quarter, and that one there gives him 2 for the game, and that takes Districts to 5 goals 10, still trailing Tiwi 10 goals 8, Matty.
Perhaps that inaccuracy could come back to haunt them if they can get a few more here in the fourth quarter. They could certainly narrow up that margin, but yeah, when you're talking 5 goals 10 at three-quarter time, it's a long way back up. Tiwi Bombers 10-8-68.
Yeah, probably it's too hard to ask, but things happen in football that we don't expect at times, just like last week when 10 minutes in, 37 points up, and St Mary's came back to get within 4.
Ball goes up. Williams again over the top, wins the tap. Ball comes out here to Henry for Tiwi, who drives it forward. Lionel Ogden in front gets his toe to it, and some good follow-up work. Receives back from McAdam. Chips in short and hits the target in Barnett again, just outside of the 50 at centre-half forward. He looks for an option, looking for Willie Farah. He's interfered with in the marking contest. Umpire saw it that way, and he'll win the free kick, and another shot at goal for Districts.
This is more efficient for Districts, 2 inside 50s, 2 shots on goal, and Damien Williams in the ruck is really good. He's athletic, and I can remember back in 2012 when Brenton Toy was having trouble at under-18 nationals, Damien Williams would go to centre-half back into the ruck and get the ball moving into a midfield of Jake Nee, Dom Barry and Jed Anderson.
Pretty good side back then. So Willie Farah close to the man on the mark, who almost ran over it. Farah's kick on goal is done just enough to sneak inside the goalpost, and maybe this is it. Maybe Districts are on the roll and coming back. So a couple of quick ones have given them a chance.
Yeah, they go to 6 goals 10, trailing Tiwi 10 goals 8 with 3 minutes gone into the last quarter. And Matty, Damien Williams has got them going forward, and Josiah Farah back in the middle.
Yeah, certainly has. Just looking at some of Damien Williams' credentials as well, certainly a very handy player. Did a former GWS in the TAC Cup, and of course played some time with Thunder as well. Been in and out of teams at Buffs. Was not a part of their loss to Southern Districts in the 2018 grand final though. But at the moment, it's all Damien Williams' work in the centre there that's edging the Buffs a little bit close, edging Districts a little bit closer, I should say.
And Lionel Ogden off half-back was very good in that passage of play.
So Williams again up high, gets his hand to the ball, comes straight to ground, and there's numbers on there, but a quick hand pass comes out, and now Rocker gets a hand pass out to McAdam. McAdam kicks forward to the outer half forward flank. Barnett gets his hands to the ball. Umpire not the closest to the action, has seen a free kick here, and it's going District's way again. And it's Matt Duffy this time who'll drive Districts forward. No mark taken, the ball comes to ground, and McClendon picks up but runs the ball across the boundary line. So Tiwi under a bit of pressure early in this last quarter, and you know, in any game, if you're less than 4 goals down early in the last quarter, you'd think you're a chance. So maybe
there's a lot of football to be played. There's another 20 odd minutes of football to be played, so there's a lot of footy, and Districts are doing everything right. They're playing in front, they're pairing off quickly and being clean with the football.
This time Damien Williams with the bodywork in the ruck contest, but picked up the ball himself, but his kick was astray and out of bounds on the full, so Tiwi get the chance to settle from the back pocket now.
This might be exactly what they need. They've barely had a touch of the ball so far, Tiwi, so if they can hold some possession here, they might just be able to hold on.
Short kick comes across the face of goal to Purantarameri. He goes back into that pocket on the outer side, and Dion Munkara comes straight up the ground looking for John O'Mullins, who claims the mark. Umpire says that's all okay, got it before it hit the ground, and now a running player in Dion Munkara drives Tiwi forward towards centre half forward. Alistair Darcy with a huge leap. Couldn't complete the mark, but play goes on, and now there's a free kick, and it's going to be Keegan Dingo, who brings Districts back into attack with some loose players across the middle of the ground. Josiah Farah hand passes across to Charlie McAdam. McAdam's kick looking for Damien Williams down forward, and he takes the mark, and Damien Williams is in everything at the moment.
Jack of all trades.
Chips back inside and finds Rocker about 40 out on a slight angle. And Rocker's been good today, Wally.
Yeah, he's been a driving force for him in the midfield, and also he spent some time in that third quarter in the back half, Stu, and sort of stemmed the flow and helped to run the ball out of their back line. And him and Josiah Farah have been very good in the middle. And Damien Williams, well, he's won the ball in the middle. He's pushed forward, taken a mark, and now Roko's having a shot on goal.
Kick looks like it's missing to the right-hand side, and so they got a couple of early ones and had a couple more opportunities which they've missed. So just letting Tiwi off the hook a little bit early in this last quarter.
21 points the difference at the 6-minute mark of the last quarter.
So chip kick finds Dion Munkara deep in defence. He swings it out wide here. The ball comes over the back where Cantilla's going to be first to the ball, takes possession, runs inside, swings onto the left foot, kicks it very high where Bowden's pushed in the back by Darcy, and pretty obvious free kick there. Bowden chips it into the centre of the ground where McAdam takes the mark. He chips wide again where McLaughlin's got plenty of space. He's fumbling the ball and manages to keep it inside the boundary line. Didn't he? But kept composed and drives in forward again. But McClendon across there does some tidy up work with his partner back there in Riddle, but tackle saw the ball go over the boundary line.
No, he's paid the free kick for holding the ball to Damien Williams.
Dylan McLaughlin didn't have a player 50 metres around him, and he still nearly fumbled that out on the boundary line there.
But that's a difference from the first three quarters of that quarter. Michael Bowden playing in front of Darcy, so he couldn't have a run at the football, and he ends up winning the free kick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a mindset.
So Damien Williams deep in that right forward pocket on the outer side. Kicks towards goal now. The kick looks pretty good. Goal umpire likes it as well, and it's a third for the quarter for Southern Districts, and they're right back in the game.
So third goal for Districts, one each to Damien Williams, Sam Barnett and William Farah, and Damien Williams has run the ball in the ruck, and now he's moving back into the ruck, and looks like Dylan McLaughlin, Bo Schwartz are going to meet him in the middle. And Tiwi getting together to get reorganised, and Districts are finally paired off, playing one-on-one football, owning the football, using it smartly, not panicking when they've got them a little bit more composed, and they get themselves back in the game. 7 goals 11 to Tiwi, still leading 10 goals 8-68. 8.5 minutes gone in the last quarter.
It's like they've flicked a switch. We've seen glimpses of this in the first three quarters, but now they are on 100% Districts.
So Monagatti in the ruck for Tiwi, wins this one down to Tungatalam. Tungatalam shrugs the tackle, runs forward and kicks inside 50, but mark's taken by Holman back there for Districts. He kicks out wide here looking for Ogden. He's under pressure. The mark ball bounces off his chest, but he recovers well to take possession and kick inside, and finds Rankin there, who drives Districts forward again. Willie Farah out in front, centres the ball for Districts, and Bo Schwartz takes the mark there. He'll drive Districts inside 50. Ball goes over the back and tidied up there by McClendon, who kicks out wide looking for Owen Henry, who's got a bit of space. Hand passes off now, and Tiwi running the ball forward. They've got some loose players here. It's marked there by Blake Purintatameri, just outside half forward.
There are a few forwards down because they were just interchanging three of their forwards as they turned the football over and came back.
Ball's come into Michael Dunn, who's taken the mark inside 50, and he'll go back and should take a shot from about 30 metres out directly in front. Michael Dunn, we normally see doing his work across half back, but he's drifted forward, probably due to that lack of numbers they had there, and he finishes up with the ball and has a shot on goal. Kicks on the way now, and it's missed to the left-hand side. So Tiwi's first score for the quarter is a minor. It's been all one-way traffic for Districts until then, and Ogden's keen to get him going again. He plays on with a hand pass, which is something I can't understand. You can hand pass from fullback if you run out of the square these days. But anyway, ball goes out to where Isaac Wyatt takes the mark. He chips inside looking for Rokar. It's punched away, but he butters up and he's first with his hands to the ball. Hand passes back to Wyatt. Over the top to Bowden. Bowden props, looking for an option. And whistle's gone here.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
See, but that's even better. Like previously, before they just panic and get the ball moving forward. You know, Michael just steadied and composed himself, and he stepped over the line, went out of bounds with the ball, but at least they didn't turn the football over in that part of the ground, which is a difference we're both doing in the first 3 quarters.
Boundary throw in now. No one gets their hand to it. Ball hits the ground, and a free kick's found. And it's Tiwi running through the middle through Adam Tipton-Woody. Kicks it in high, looking for Bell down here. Bell in the marking contest. Ball spills to ground, but it's Ogden who finds the ball in front of him. He taps it forward with the toe a couple of times, and then again he's made about 50 metres, but this one's fallen in the hands of Jason Purintatameri. He hand passes over the top looking for Heenan. It misses him, but Heenan gets a toe to it, and Michael Dunn picks it up across half back. His hand pass misses the target, however. Damien Williams is there. He gets a hand pass out to Duffy, who can't control it, and Tiwi have the opportunity to come away again. Quick kick by Owen Henry out there to Mullins. Mullins is tackled with the ball underneath him. The ball comes across, and the big ruckman hand passes back to Monagatti. Monagatti looking for options, kicks it high towards the centre of the ground. Paddy Heenan's under this one and takes a good mark, using his body well there. Plays on, the ball spills out of his hands, but he picks up again. He's lost his boot, but still kicked it forward. Alistair Darcy's under this one, but it's young Lake back there who picks up. He's tackled, but under a lot of pressure. Blake Purintatameri kicks inside now. Ball's fumbled there, and it's Lachlan Howe who had the ball trapped under him when he was tackled, but umpire said he didn't have an opportunity to get rid of that, and it'll be a ball up inside forward 50 for Tiwi.
That was the most exciting 2 minutes of footy we've seen all game, I think. Great call there, Stu.
Ball comes out now. It's Bell knocking the ball forward, but over the boundary line, and a throw in deep in the forward pocket for Tiwi. I'm sure they'd like to get a goal here to steady things down a bit for them.
Certainly would.
So coming up to 13 minutes in this final quarter, we've certainly got a game on our hands. And it's Big Howe doing the ruck work. Williams doesn't get there. I think he's spent all his petrol tickets early in this last quarter. Dion Munkara runs onto it with a magnificent dribbling snapshot from the left forward pocket, as only Dion Munkara can do.
I'll top that and say the only other person who could would be Ross Tungatala. Dion Munkara or Ross Tungatala were the only two that could make a shot like that.
So a bit of magic there sees Tiwi get a bit of breathing space back, but fantastic footy down there from Dion Munkara.
Again, just the structure and the placement of the defenders for Districts opened up that space for Dion. You know, there was 2 or 3 Districts defenders at that boundary throw-in that weren't standing alongside their opposition player, and Dion Munkara made the most of it. Jack Monaghetti just forced the ball forward to a nice finishing Dion Munkara, who kicked the ball underneath his Districts opponent.
So Williams still doing the ruck work for Districts here up against Monaghetti. Monaghetti gets his hand to the ball, but Josiah Farrow's first to it on the ground. He can't take possession. There's plenty of Tiwi players in there. Tip and Woody picks up and runs clear now on the left foot, chips inside and finds John O'Mullins right on the paint of 50 on the outer side of TIO Stadium. He has a player running past, hand passes inside Looks like Braden Rioli, who kicks in long with the left foot. Hands to the ball in there. The big fella, Howe, gets a hand pass back into the hands of Ross Tungatalam.
There it is.
There you go.
The dynamic duo.
Some good work from Howe there, though. He had the ball right on the behind line. He was under plenty of pressure and flung it, shot out a long hand pass to Tungatalam by himself, and Tungatalam finishes well as usual.
Tungatalam has 2 for the game, Munkara has 2, and they've kicked the last 2.
That'll hurt Southern District because they really led the first 10 minutes of this quarter really well, and they really got themselves back into the game. But now all of a sudden another quick 2 goals for the Tiwi Bombers. Now it's 12-9-81, Southern District's 7-11-53, and it kind of puts them on the back foot, back where they were at the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so they've got to defend instead of attacking now. So, but
it's really been on the back of Monagatti in the centre there. I think he's got his hands to the ball, and that ruck contest down forward as well. It's turned it around. Williams was dominating early in the last quarter, but since Monagatti's got in there, too, have been able to steady the ship and get a couple of goals.
Yeah, moving Howe forward too gives them a big target up forward, and Monagatti's, because he's gone in, they've won the last 4 clearances from the centre bounce.
So we've got a boundary throw in on the outer side. Monagatti works to the front, gets his hand to the ball, comes to the ground where Rocco picks up but then drops it, and Tiwi are over. Bell hacks it off the ground, but Josiah Farrer there picks up and clean pair of heels, runs forward, hand passes, receives it back, kicks long into centre half forward, and Barnett coming out bounces off his chest, but he takes it on the second attempt. He's looking for options now because he's too far out to score. He kicks long towards the goal square, but Richard Paranchatameri underneath that one tried to tidy up. He's helped by Michael Dunn, but the ball's forced across for a rush behind. Dunn plays on straight away with a couple of bounces straight up the middle of the ground. Kicks looking for Monagatti, but a hand to the ball by Owen Skender there. He hand passes across to Damien Williams, and now Charlie McAdam receives and finds the player in McCormack who played on straight away. Wasn't aware of the pressure that he was under, and he's caught holding the ball by Harley Puruntatameri. Puruntatameri chips inside the centre square to Adam Tippenwoody, who plays on straight away. Damien Williams won't keep up with him, that's for sure, and he just runs away from him like he's standing still, has 3 or 4 bounces, runs inside 50, kicks towards goal, but offline, and he's not very happy with that. He did all the hard work and just didn't finish it.
Yeah, McCormack hasn't had a great day today. It's about the second to third time he's been caught in that spot where he's won the ball and been run down from behind.
So Tiwi turn it over from the kick in, and
Districts.
Yeah, it's turned over by Tiwi, and it's Harley Puruntatameri who's taken a mark inside 50.
He'd be well out of breath right now. He just ran about 100. He's just thrown the ball down for a second. He just needs to catch his breath.
It's going to be kicking from just inside 50. Might test him the distance here, but he's confident. He's coming in now, and he just runs inside 50, gets a bit of purchase on it, goes high towards the goal line. There's a couple of Districts players back there, and Keegan Dingo comes across, gets a fist to it, and sees it over for a minus score. So I think the game's almost spent now. Districts need to kick 5 goals from here. It's hard to see them doing it. Dingo straight up in the middle of the ground finds Stewart at centre half back, and he's now looking towards the outer side. Kicks it high where Tiwi seem to have the numbers, but it's fallen into the lap of Holman, who plays on quickly to Duffy. Duffy is tackled but manages to get his hand pass away there to Owen Skender, who's also tackled, and the ball spills out. Bell gets a quick kick, and it's Tiwi out there through Riddle's hand pass forward to Babui, who kicks inside. The free players everywhere here. Alistair Darcy picks it up, chips in to Dion Munkara, who plays on and kicks the goal from about 15 metres out. He was almost as if he had a look at the player running at him and said, well, you're not going to bother me, I'm going to play on anyway, and kick the goal.
Dion Munkara kicks his second for the quarter, third for the game. Tiwi have kicked 3 goals, 3 for the quarter. Districts 2 goals, 2, and the run that Districts had have been well stopped by Tiwi by getting back to what they did for the first 3 quarters, playing in front, being clean and composed around the contest and using the ball smartly.
And a bit of a scare, though, in the first 10 minutes of this fourth quarter, though. It wasn't the Tiwis that we'd known for the first 3 quarters. And Southern Districts, I talked about that light switch before. Something really switched with the Southern Districts. And Tiwi Bombers, almost like they fell asleep for the first 10 minutes of the quarter.
So Districts kicked the first 3 and Tiwi have kicked the last 3. So it's evened them up. So ball's contested in the middle on the ground now. Bobbles out and Mullins gets a kick to the ball, brings it inside 50, spills over the back where it's Purintatameri's kick smothered. Lake gets a hand to the ball, taps it out into the advantage of Bowden. Bowden chips in here, but mark's not taken, but Bowden gets another quick kick out. Cantilla running onto it this time, kicks it high towards the top of the goal square. Brody Lake goes through his hands, but the umpire said that he was held in the marking contest and will take the free kick. I'm not sure he realises it's his free kick at the moment.
I think yes. Moved away.
Yeah, it was a free kick for holding.
So
no movement from Southern Districts.
So Lake just bails out down the line here towards Holman, who outbodies Roy Farmer and takes the mark. Holman chips back into the centre, goes over the top, where Rankin runs onto the ball, taps it in front of himself, now gathers, runs through centre half forward, drives it in forward, and that's a good mark taken by Rokar inside the forward 50 on about a 45-degree angle, threw out the one hand and tapped it down to himself and controlled it well. Some good movement through the middle there by Rankin to deliver to Rokar.
Holman's been played up the ground a little bit. Stewie has been quite useful.
So Rokar's kick on goal looks pretty good and holds its line well enough to be District's 4th goal for the quarter.
But Rokar kicks his first for the game, and other goal kickers in the quarter for Damien Williams, Sam Barnett and William Farrett, and for Tiwi, Tagantalam, 2 to Dion Mankara.
That's it.
That's it. 3 goals for the quarter.
Based on the current scores, if Tiwi manage to hold on here, it'll have an interesting effect on the ladder. We know the Tiwi Bombers have won just 2 games so far. Waratah have played 1 more than them, so it'll boost them up to where Waratah is. Southern District's 2nd on the ladder at the moment, but if St Mary's manage to get up against Nightcliff, that'll boost them up to 2nd as well. So could see a lot of chopping and changing on the ladder based on this game.
So tipping Woody to Dion Mankara. He chips inside looking for Tungatalam and finds him just about 50 out on a slight angle, and I wouldn't count Roscoe out of the ability to kick the goal from here, even though it's late in the game. Very good finisher. So Tungatalam will be kicking from about 55. He's seen a lead that he likes and honours that, and that's a beautiful pass inside and finds one of his captains in Paddy Heenan, who takes the mark about 25 out on a slight angle. And Ross Tungatalam very good with ball in hand, really wastes it.
Very skillful, Stu, and Paddy Heenan's a good finisher in front of goal. And again, District's just giving that space up in front of goal. No one was really there, and there was no communication to try and block those leads off. So bit of work to do for Districts after this game.
And a very good finish there from Paddy Heenan. And Tiwi finishing the game running, and probably won this last quarter in the end.
They've so far won it by points. Stu, 4 goals 3 to Districts 4 goals 1.
You're watching Aboriginal TV, Channel 4's coverage of the TIO NTFL season, and those on our radio simulcast this afternoon as well. The last goal there by the Bombers would be the icing on the cake, you'd imagine. 14-11-95. Southern Districts 8-12-60, 23 minutes gone in the 4th quarter.
So interesting that Tiwi, it's only their 3rd win out of the 7 games so far, and 2 of those wins are against St Mary's and Southern Districts. So
they're in the top 3.
Yeah.
The sides above them would be a little bit worried about the Tiwi steam train coming. Damien Williams back in the ruck for Districts. He gets up high, gets his hand to the ball, comes to ground, and Districts will work it away again through Michael Joshua coming in off that outer wing. Charlie McAdam takes a good contested mark and plays on straight away. and drives it down to half forward where Josiah Farah takes the mark out in front. He chips in short to Rokar, who takes the mark about exactly where he kicked his last goal from a few minutes ago.
That's the 9th inside 50 for Districts. Tiwi have had 10.
So
much closer quarter for both sides. This.
So Rokar, who's had a very good game, coming in to reward himself with his second shot at goal, but this one's nowhere near it. It's going way across the goal and out of bounds on the full. Some tired legs out there now late in the game. The game's been played in 34, 33 degree temperatures all day, so pretty sapping. Ball retrieved from over the fence, and Tiwi will bring it in. Dion Munkara out there receives out at half back and just slows things down now while he looks for an option. Sees Michael Dunn in the centre of the ground, and the kick's perfect to him at the back end of the centre square. He plays on now and kicks out wide and finds the big fella in Howe out on the wing by himself. Not much movement forward of him, so he chips backwards, and now Dion Munkara again plays on and hits Michael Dunn again, this time in the centre of the ground. Hand passes back to Munkara, running past, driving forward. It bounces off Tipungwudi's chest. Harley Puruntatameri can't control it, and Brody Lake for Districts mops up and kicks long down to Rokar in the centre square, who goes backwards out wide looking for Lake, but it's gone over his head and out of bounds. So they lost about 30 metres in territory and lost possession of the ball as well. So
every player out there would be very happy to see the siren about now.
Well, we're 26 minutes in, so it can't be too far away, although we've had...
there you go. Speak of the devil.
8 goals for the quarter.
So there it is, the Tiwi Bombers 14-11-95 defeating Southern Districts 8-12-60. Wally, your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I just thought that District started well, and if they'd kicked straighter, the game would have been different. But from there on, I thought Tiwi were more efficient with the use of footy. They ran a little bit harder and a little bit more, although a lot more organised, and they ended up kicking 14 goals 11 again. So that's what they've been kicking for the last few weeks.
Stu Davis.
Yeah, so a good effort from Tiwi. They were obviously disappointed after losing to Tars last week, and made plenty of changes, and some of those ins were really good for them this week, and they looked pretty well balanced and had the advantage in ruck for most of the day, although Damien Williams early in the last quarter got Districts back in the game. But yeah, I think pretty impressed with Tiwi today, and I think they've got some promising things to look forward to for the rest of the season. So it sets it up well for the competition for the rest of the season with some real contenders.
Yeah, so there it is, the Indigenous round 7 of the NTFL, and it's the Indigenous team that have shined. The Tiwi Bombers 14-11-95 defeating Southern Districts 8-12-60. Thanks for your company.